Hi, welcome to the review. Well, not really review, I guess. This is the beginning of week fourth of GA UXDI immersive course, and here is my good friend Zach from the cohort. So, hi, Zach.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Zach is a really cool, chill dude. Like he doesn't talk a lot; he just do. So that is actually really amazing. Like his sketches and his bio, they look professional. So
Good.
glad to have you here today, Zach. And so the interview is pretty much the usual, kind of like keeping track of what we've done, what we have learned, and what we think that we're missing, things like that.
Okay.
So again, pretty much the same format. The first question is, what is something interesting? What is something like a win that you have got within the last couple of weeks? And especially, we just finished our project 2 last Friday. It was pretty brutal. But then again, like this one is even harder. So things gonna get very interesting.
Well, let's see. A good win that I've had. How about with presentations for Project 2? Project 1, since it was all thrown at us very quickly and we didn't even know what we were doing, and then I had to present, I feel like I did a pretty not great job. And Project 2, I'm starting to hit my stride because I'm gaining a little more confidence, more knowledge with everything, and I had a little more time to plan out my key talking points. So that was definitely a win, and just being done with it.
Yeah.
Another win.
Like we spent so much time, and we think like, oh, we're never gonna get through this, and then we're done.
Yeah.
And this is already Monday, which is not really a nice thing. I was hoping for the weekend to last longer, but then again, you're adult. What is weekend for me? So, what is a lose? And then again, lose, quote unquote. It's just some kind of shortcoming that you figured out that you've got like throughout this time, or just something that you think, some kind of weaknesses that you didn't even know that you had.
A newfound weakness for a lot of the people in this class, you being one of them, you're more outgoing and you want to go and you grab people in a coffee shop or whatever and ask them questions about whatever or have them card sort. For me, that's like the toughest out of every aspect of UX design. The toughest barrier to entry for me is the approach to strangers, to ask them to do something for you. So that'd be my weakness, my loss that I figured out. But we all have strengths and weaknesses, I guess.
Yeah, that's totally fine. And I think that's not just a weakness that we have, but pretty much like everybody.
Yeah.
Because like, who wants to socialize? Right? We're all single species. So yeah, that is one really good point that we have stumbled upon, because for week 1, the first project, we didn't have to like go out and talk to a lot of people. We just kind of like go out and just randomly, and it's kind of like in a chill setting.
Yeah.
But now this one, we have to approach it a lot more, not just a bit, but a lot more professionally, because we actually need some input from the users, and we want to gain some good insight from the interview as well. So approaching people just randomly like that is definitely not something easy. And yeah, and then again, I said it that a lose, quote unquote, is because just some kind of hindrance, some obstacle that we're having.
And you can learn from it.
Exactly,
to
like
practice.
we have to.
Yeah.
We don't have a choice.
That's true. There's no other option, so I guess I'll get better.
Yeah, we all have to get better. That thing that so my experience is that I went to Starbucks. That kind of like a habit I go every now and then, and I interview some high school students, and it's just kind of weird. And if they got scared, I can totally understand why. Because like randomly, and I was going out, like I was leaving as well. It was around 10:30, so you're almost leaving.
Weird time.
It's almost midnight, and out of nowhere, a random person just like approached, like, "Hey, you want some cards?"
Yeah. You really went all out.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Number 3, what is something UX-wise that you have learned and you think that is so cool?
Ooh. I think after the user interviews, the affinity mapping. So the piecing out things that people said and trends that you saw, and then finding the different insights by combining the different, completely different sticky notes, and you find insights that you've never thought before. So that's pretty intriguing. Yeah.
I mean, I say like affinity mapping is something that I'm not really good at yet. Because my affinity mapping is sometimes like I just group them based on how I feel.
Oh.
Yeah, like instead of
Well, I said in the presentation how it was originally I grouped them and then just figured out like, oh, these are just the questions I asked the people, and then I redid it and found the insights. So yeah, you got to do that crappy thing first and then try again.
so practice makes perfect sense. You try, you lose, and then you do it again, and then you lose again. But the cycle just
Get a
keeps
little
going.
better each time.
Yeah, a little bit better.
Yeah.
Something really interesting though is what is something. So I will share my story first. Is that when I start cart sorting, something really interesting happened. Is that like Michael, he has a bunch of stuff that people have no knowledge about. So they sort things based on really strange categories that you would never think that. Oh, if this is a normal users, they would sort things like this. So for my case, I was doing hobbies, models, and what happened is that people sort the cards like if they don't see the picture of the model itself, they just see like the title, like World War II, and then like modern technology, modern military stuff and like that. I don't know if this happened to you, but people actually sort things, and it happens to us too. Like when we write down the cards, we actually write them in specific orders. Like cardboards for 4 users, for 4 people, and then the next one will also for 4 people, but like longer time, and 4 people, but like instead of competing, it's gonna be like combined goal, things like that. And then when you give to people, they start sorting based on the first word that they see also.
Yeah, that's I mean I sorted your cards, so
Yeah.
Speaking from first-hand experience of sorting, I did that same thing pretty much.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So card sorting and affinity mapping is definitely something really interesting because human as visual species or beings, we tend to see things and then we try to believe things as we see it, not as how it actually is, but as how we perceive it. So affinity mapping is something really awesome, and I hate it.
Well, we all have our crosses to
Yeah,
bear.
it's then again, it's really fun, but at the same time, you kind of struggle a lot of time because you're like, wow, like, is this house supposed to be mapped? Things so confusing.
Yeah,
But it is
agreed.
actually a really intriguing experience. So number 4 is, what is something new that you learn about yourself that before you make this big jump? I mean, pretty much we all can put like courage as like a huge tag on LinkedIn right now because we made such a huge decision, like
Financially and time consuming.
Yeah, life is totally different.
Yeah.
Like this is not even like full-time school, but we're here since 8:30 and we leave around
Right.
6 or something.
And then work some at home afterward. And then I don't know about you, but my sleep is compromised no matter what because I keep waking up thinking about like sorting navigation and crap that I shouldn't be thinking about. It doesn't even make sense. But I can't get it out of my head right now. But yeah, so as for a strength that I found from the course, my strength in
Not even just strength, but like something you learn about yourself.
about yourself. I learned that I'm good at information architecture. So I'm good at piecing out and finding the insights that are needed to create something, and then figuring out the best way to lay things out and such. Which part of that kind of goes into user interface design, which I am already kind of leaning towards since my history is with graphic design.
Yeah,
But
makes sense.
yeah, I guess just that my methodical board game brain can work in this.
Yeah,
this
that's.
facet.
Then again, everybody has their strength and their non-strength. So
Strength, I like that.
yeah, for your background with graphic design, you have like I see a lot in many people too. That's we're kind of like leaning into UI a lot because we kind of like want like map thing out a certain way. And then for your strength, something that you learn is that you're really good with facts and features and kind of like that. Like you're really good with like bullet points and listing and how have things like
Analyzing and organizing the information.
Yeah, basically
in the-
like
yeah.
an Excel sheet kind of thing. Like have everything listed out.
Yes.
So
Not something too common with artists or
yeah,
graphic designers.
that's I think that is a really good strength to like actually to sort things out the way they should be. It's definitely a must-have. I mean, we will all eventually like, gain and get better at that thing, but
Right.
by having that and like realizing it, the sooner the better. So
Yeah.
that's really good.
Thanks.
And what is the last thing? That's the camera. Point to that. What is
There.
an advice that you would give to? Keep switching this back and forth. What is the advice that you would give to someone who wants to start in the UX design career, or even just any tech career, or even broader, just any career, who is trying to make a big jump, like trying to born again? And again, this is also for you too. Sometimes you stumble upon life, sometimes you think that you got struck down and you can't get back up, then we have YouTube. You can always get access to this thing anytime. So just
Yeah.
look back and what is something that you would tell yourself whenever you get back down, this is the reason why you can still get back up.
That sounds like two different questions.
No, just one.
You started with advice I'd give to people for changing careers, and then
Like
how
just-
to get back up from
Like
getting
something
beat
can be
down.
as basic, like for yourself too, like if you ever encounter hardship. So just look at this thing and point to that, like, hey, you can do this, things like that. But it has
You
to
can
be
do
personal.
this.
It has to be something from you.
I mean, I don't know. Find what you're good at, or what you think you'll be good at, and before doing something as big as this, like joining this course and paying the money for it, do your research ahead of time and figure out that it's right for you, and then just do it. How's that?
Damn, I love it. That's like so board game, so logical. Like a lot of time I was thinking like, whatever you want to do, you just have to commit to that. Like just do it. Like kind of like Nike. And you're more. I mean, like me too. I do that too. But I didn't think you would come up with that. Like think of the things that you want to do that you think you're good at or you're gonna be good at, and then research.
Narrow it
which
down,
is like
research.
the thing that a lot of people skip. Which sometimes it works, but I still think do some research before that is definitely a better plan. And yeah, that's really awesome. So find it, do some research, or do a lot of research, and then just commit to that. Just do it.
Yep.
All right.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
That was like a really awkward handshake, but okay, that's better. So thank you for Zach for being here interviewing with me.
No problem.
Today is the first Monday of week. Well, there's only one Monday.
First Monday of week 4.
This is not the
Second
beginning
Monday or
of the
the
week
third
4th. Okay. This is the beginning of the week 4th of the UXDI UX Design Immersive course at General Assembly. Thanks to Zach for being here with us. He gave us some really good insights and really good advice. And yeah, the journeys await. We think that we got pretty much a long way, but no, this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Like the new project
Talk to me
is
on
like
week 10.
really, yeah.
And see what
the new
I'm
project
doing.
is insane. Like, are you proud that you finished your project too like that?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're proud. But now, like the new project, like that thing
You're
is
starting over
nothing.
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're at square one once again.
Our level and our skill is improving so much. Like we learn a lot. We learn so much that we never thought we
Yes.
could, and we're improving like vastly. So
Boot camps are the way to go, in my
Yeah.
opinion, personally. I think boot camps are better than part-time online courses. 'Cause
Yeah.
this makes you fully
like
commit.
you pay a lot, not just a lot, but you pay like a lot.
Yeah. But if you have a full-time job that much sooner, and you're making a lot more money
Yeah.
that much sooner, it actually is paying off.
And
tenfold.
pretty much the thing about part-time is either you, I mean, this is kind of like getting out of topic, but then we can totally talk about that. The thing about part-time is that unless you kind of like improving your skill set, like gaining something new, or it's an absolute must that you can't get to the full-time course, getting part-time courses, like with my experience throughout college, part-time courses is pretty much useless because you don't treat them seriously, and
Yeah.
you're giving it up like halfway. You only do enough to like get through the class. But this is for your own good, and honestly, you get what you pay for, and then at the same time, like you have to pay for what you want to get. So this is
Yeah.
a huge amount of money. This is like a really big commitment.
And even the part-time courses, you're going to pay a
Yeah.
lot. So you might as well pay a little bit more for something that's going to pay off way more.
You're paying a lot more. You're paying a lot more, but then the same thing for the scale, the things that you're going to get, also a lot, a ton.
This is spoken by two cheapskates. So,
Oh, so good.
so that says something.
Drink water for food, right?
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us this week. This is the week 4th. I keep repeating that, but anyway, thanks for listening or watching, and I'll see you next week.